Hey, yo, let's just go live, shall we? Hey, by the way, before we start, I forgot that I've never actually watched this video on stream. I remember I watched it, or at least halfway through when it came out. This is Agent Proper's top 10 worst moments of 2023. And I should probably give it a shot sometime, even though it's like 5.5 hours. With me talking over, it's going to be like 12 hours, but you know, that's just how life works. Let's listen to some music that is not Darkside Phil's music, because that's what they're listening to over there.
Oh, quick time event. Down, circle. To the right, to the left.
Yeah, no, we're not doing this. Not today. Is there anything to recap? Yesterday, he had a decent stream of Baldur's Gate 3. He made exactly $100, and then he made like $5 on the late stream. Or something like that. So, I guess an okay day. Oh yeah, there was actually let's just cut the intro because the guy's gonna go live soon anyways. Let me just pop him out on a window so I can see whenever he goes live. This shit's very complicated, dude. We're running a mature adult stream. So yeah, there was a couple of things. I think Snort Hogan has all of it. I'll just talk you through this without watching all the clips, or you know, any of the clips. I did watch the majority of this. So Review Tech USA was on the LolCow podcast talking about his ex-boyfriend Jay and the conflict they had and the whole nonsense. It was boring, I guess. And I don't know. I just hope that shit is over because it's obnoxious. Then what happened? Oh yeah, then if you watched the stream yesterday, you saw DSP addressing Jay in that interview. It's not happening. Clearly, I don't know if anybody thought it was happening to begin with, because it's like it's one of those things that just gets canceled immediately. Then Kino Casino roast Review Tech USA for like an hour. I watched like the first 20-25 minutes something. It's fine. It's fine. It kind of goes very one note at some point. Then Review Tech USA had a Spurg Fest against 8-Bit Eric, who is just some random dude with a pretty dead-end channel that nothing really happens on, who injected himself in the Review Tech USA and J-drama to get some views, basically. And, well, it worked, so he made a second video to get some more views, basically. And I guess that worked, too. And then Rich was mad about it. And he cut a very stupid promo on the guy, basically telling him like, dude, you try and fuck with my livelihood, I'm coming for you. And then nothing happened. It's one of those DSP promos where it's literally just an internet tough guy with no payoff and no intention of payoff. Like, he's not even planning on doing anything. Because if you want to cut a promo on somebody in this way, just let me, I'll just show it to you. It got to be here somewhere.
You believe that Trump actually got the election stolen from him?
No, bro, shut the fuck up.
Be down a lot. Yeah, you also tried to damage what I feed my kids with, not knowing the whole story, going with your friend, you opportunistic, talentless bastard. Come on the show.
Yeah, when you talk shit like this, somebody's kneecaps better get broken. Otherwise, you're just an internet tough guy. If you cut promos like this, better something happen. So yeah, that's kind of it. Then I don't know. Then I guess this happened. I haven't watched this. It's probably just as pathetic as the rest of them. He claims victory over Jay, and then oh my god, this is so stupid. I hope this is finished soon. And then Jay was flexing that he got a bunch of memberships on Twitter and stuff just to make Rich mad. But the reality is that Jay only got those memberships because Rich made him a victim and he slutted him out in front of everybody. So it's like, Jay, they're not there for your content, bro. Because, I mean, nobody's there for your content. That's why you got 60K and you get as many views as DSP trolls do. And we're literally just DSP trolls. So, yeah. And then, apparently, Kino Casino watched DSP's response to the J drama. Look, there's levels to this. I mean, most of them is just level 1, but levels. And yeah, apparently there's a quote in this that goes, he's been streaming for 2.5 hours and made $29. So I would be interested to play this just until like DSP comes back. I'm curious about what they said.
Snort. Code. Drip. I got the drip. Go.
Are we gonna do this DSP on the J and Review Tech USA situation?
Let's check it out. Let's see if it's good.
Let's see what he's got to say.
All right.
Well, let me tell you
By
something,
the way,
brother.
Snort Hogan, friend of the show.
In one of the clips they sang along to the theme song that I made, the Snort Hogan theme song.
But
So I appreciate that.
yeah, there's this 10-minute video. I didn't bring it to the show because you all you wouldn't care. But it's him complaining about how he was robbed in Baldur's Gate because of a story choice they made at the end of the game.
He was robbed?
like robbed of his good time by Larian Studios because they fucking decided that one character in your party would
Yeah, this is the
choice, but
this is the stay back guy. This is Andy Worski. Stay back. Stay the fuck back.
it was like a not a moral choice. He's like,
Man, I remember that Tevin stream like it's yesterday. The first half an hour of it is just godlike.
in my heart, I didn't want to do it, but then the character leaves you forever, and it's like a big robbery, and he complains about it for 10 minutes. He's hurting, bud. He's hurting, bud.
Okay, guys,
Yeah, the goal is $50, by the way.
we're about to start. Before we
Come on, that's just the first goal. That's not even the final form.
clarify something that
What
apparently
a
has
pleb.
apparently
Like,
has
imagine
gone on.
hating the best game that's come out in, 10 years?
All right, well, sorry to cut this short, but the boy is going live, and obviously we're here for the boy and not the dudes. So let's watch the boy in today's edition of the Level 1 Podcast, only on DSP Gaming, and also on this channel and everybody else that's watching him on a different restream. Cold open? Probably not. Doesn't have much to say.
What is going on,
Oh my
everyone?
god, what is this shirt,
Final
man?
consecutive streaming day of the week. The hot weather is gone. We've got some interesting stuff to talk about this morning, including the Dragon's Dogma 2 early review scores are out and very positive, so that's something to look forward to. Plus, I've got an update on the possible next project that we'll be doing over on DSP Throwback, so stay tuned.
Bro, nobody
All that
fucking
and
cares
more
about
for
this
today's
channel, like,
episode of
unironically.
Level 1 Podcast.
The next project we're gonna be doing. So he got an update from his editors. I love how he's officially calling him editors now.
Yeah, it's just like me and my editors, you know? The guys that work for me, because, well, they volunteered. They don't actually work for me. They just do work for me. That makes sense, right?
But yeah, the Dragon's Dogma 2 reviews are great. He's getting like 9s and 10s and 5
All right,
out of
good morning,
5s and shit
everyone.
like
It
that,
is
so that's good.
Wednesday, the 20th of March, 2024. I'm DSP.
Tell us what the weather is like, weather boy.
Show my final consecutive streaming day of the week, so gonna take a little bit of a break tomorrow. What a week it's been, right? If you remember, on the first streaming day of this week, I put my foot down. I made a huge announcement that I have to make a change because if I
No, I'm not gonna play Dragon's Dogma at launch. This shit is literally 80 euros, man. For 80 euros, I can eat food all week. They're just not worth it.
So if you remember, this week was the week where I put my foot down.
I can
and
wait
said,
for a
"We are going to
discount,
focus
even though it's probably gonna happen like 2 years from now.
on either Baldur's Gate 3 or Like a Dragon Infinite Well. We've got to get through these games. But, of course, on Friday, I also had to play Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, which I had already bought. Yeah, we all know how that went. So, it's been a heck of a week. Pretty much only playing the same 2 games all week. Definitely has a different vibe than my usual schedule, where I'm usually juggling 3 or 4 games of different various types. Just the thing is, right now, everything's an RPG. Whether it's Baldur's Gate 3, Like a Dragon Infinite Well, or Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I was already playing, or Dragon's Dogma 2 coming out this Friday, everything is an RPG. And so once again, yes, I'm pretty sure that saying RPG overload is a real thing is very warranted around now. You know, it's insane that all these RPGs have all come out within a short period of time. I'm trying to get through them all, but they're also lengthy. It's
Oh
almost
my god,
impossible
dude,
to
why do we have to have the same
right?
segment every day? You
So-
got the same people watching you every day. They know all of this already.
but we made great progress.
God damn it, it's just copy and paste. Why are you doing this to yourself first and foremost?
You're not paying attention.
You don't mind talking about the same shit every day?
And to let you know progress-wise how close we are to completion, because that is a big question for all of you, right? Well, let's talk about that, shall we? All right, let's quickly go game by game, and then we'll get into the schedule, and then I want to talk about Dragon's Dogma 2, and also
$2 from Kopsai Default. I got DD2 for 52 on PC. Never pay full price on PC.
Well, if it's on PC, I can just get it for free when it gets cracked, which is probably going to be pretty soon, unless it got some shitty DRM. I need to check Crackwatch.
Atrociously bad.
But I want to play it on a console like the filthy peasant I am.
Heard it got a patch like overnight or yesterday, and some people are saying that it runs better now. So maybe at some point in the future I will check it out again, because I mean, I own it and those are great games. The originals are outstanding. It just absolutely sucks that, you know, we're in a situation where
it got de novo.
I can't even have a time to
I don't
try
know,
because I'm so busy with everything else trying to get caught up, right? So all that being said,
sounds like balls.
And so we went full force into Baldur's Gate 3 and Like a Dragon Infinite Well. And so far, you know, today we're playing them again. I made major progress. I mean, I went from kind of being lingering and stuck into finishing major chunks of the plot lines of these games. You know,
that's very well said, Curtis Angus. Out of all the things you can say about his outfit, I think one of the most accurate things is saying that he just looks out of place. Because, like, look at this. He's got the little, like, Mickey Mouse layout that is for children. He got the Mickey Mouse background that is for children. He's sitting on a baby gamer chair, and he's dressed up like he's about to show up to like a wedding reception that he hasn't been invited to.
Several different like side quests
just because there's free food. So it's like, yeah, maybe go back to the gaming t-shirts. They were terrible, but at least it kind of makes sense.
Got to resolve the Thieves Guild quest line, which we didn't even have. Like, we hadn't gone to the Thieves Guild, and then we went there with Minsk, and it literally resolved like a bunch of plot lines without having.
Oh, now we got to talk about Baldur's Gate 3 again.
Which is great, because that now means that moving forward, we'll have them as allies, even though we technically didn't really, you know, work on the quest lines at all. It was kind of a 2-for-1 deal, right? In addition to that, like, more stuff. I can't even technically remember all the stuff we did this week because we played Baldur's Gate so much. But we definitely went so far that basically now we're in position to do the end game stuff. Like, if you take a look at everything left, we have the Shadowheart and Lae'zel and Will companion missions. Those are the 3 we have left, okay? Then we have however I want to finish the game. You know, Gortash is still in control of Baldur's Gate. Do we want to get head first and just attacking him?
Oh my god, bro, I don't know.
Robot guards this.
But isn't that the kind of stuff that is going to be very fun for you to talk about while you're playing the game? So if you get the choice in the game, you get to actually talk it out when it's relevant and not now? Like, why are we having a roadmap for a playthrough? Why are we having this long-term planning for a playthrough? It's not that important. It's not that deep. We're just playing a video game. It's supposed to be chill and relaxing, not a business project.
Turns. If you don't, the prisoners die. Like, the goal is to rescue prisoners and get them out of this prison. It plays apparently nothing like the rest of the game. It's a standalone thing, but it's important to the plot because one of the prisoners is really important, okay? That's really dumb. You're in Act 3. It's the end of the game. Just do the plots. Don't now be introducing time-consuming, annoyingly, you know, difficult, different kinds of gameplay. This would be like you're playing Street Fighter in the arcades, right?
No.
And all of a sudden, right before the final boss, there's a stage where you have to play Tetris. Like, what is this? Why is this in?
No, it's not like that.
Game?
It's like it's like you go to a sandwich shop, and right before they serve you the sandwich, they just give you a plate of fish and chips. That's just like exactly like that.
All have been almost gimmick
exactly
fights,
like that,
right? You know, the Cazador fight, the Orin fight yesterday. They all.
And then the waitress takes all your items and runs away.
These challenges that are presented to you.
989. This guy is RPG rattled. His mind is RPG addled. But watch out, cause he'll be thrown off his RPG saddle.
Hey.
See myself out.
Hey, there we go. We got bars on this stream now.
Stuff like that. So there's.
This is now bars.
Than I even mentioned. I'd forgotten that we had started with.
That's what I'm talking about. Big ups, Jay.
But anyway, the way I see it is, like, that's the thing. I'm kind of annoyed that the people are saying it's essential to do it, because if you don't do it, you basically get kind of not the best ending. And I'm like, yeah, but man, it sounds so annoying, and it sounds like it'll be a whole extra stream for this one stupid thing, and it sounds like there's potential to fail.
He hates having, like, in a weird way, he hates that this game is getting so much support.
I don't know.
He wishes that a different game would get all that support, so he doesn't have to play this.
Today, we're definitely going to do the fallout of the Orin.
Oh, man. I'm sure he wishes that Final Fantasy got all this support, because I think he low-key likes the game.
Decision, like, what should I do next? Okay? So, anyway, that's what we've been doing in Baldur's Gate 3. The good news is we made giant progress, and if I stay on pace, okay, which how much I'm actually doing this, likely I will finish the game within a week and a half, 2 weeks. Like, tops, I would say probably that first week of April, we're going to beat it, right? Like, today, after 3 hours, we'll probably end up doing a bunch of companion quests or whatever, and then probably we can head into that end game next week, and hopefully within a few streams we can get to that final area. And the final, apparently from to understand, the finale of the game will take a couple streams. So we'll see, but good progress on that front, okay? In Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, we also have made giant progress this week.
This game, we should even not even like talk about it existing, bro, because obviously nobody cares. Why are we even recapping it? It's not like you're gonna get more people to show up and support it.
Kiryu forms his own party.
Just like cut your losses, drop it. Just do something else. Do like Q&A or something.
To chapter 12 in only like 3 streams. Like, each stream we're beating an entire chapter of the game. So the progress has been superb in that regard. But now what's happening, because I've been beating a whole chapter a stream, is number one, the story is apparent that it's not as good as I thought it was going to be. I think that the story of the original Like a Dragon a few years ago is much better than this one.
I thought that was pretty bad too.
Inferior in this regard, which is sad. I was hoping that the new one would have a better story.
They yap too much. They never stop talking, man. Everybody got like 16 different like backstories and shit. The game is very fun to play, but when they start talking, I'm just zoning out. I'm sleeping like Phil.
And it really hasn't gotten much better, and I'm like, it's kind of disappointing. So, basically, the way I see it, all right, we could possibly beat Like a Dragon next week. However, there may be something that holds us up from doing this. From what I'm being told, once you get to like chapter 13/14, the end of the game has a big difficulty spike. Like right now, I'm around level 40-ish, my party, and the enemies are around level 40-ish, so we're doing all right. But from what's going to happen, apparently the game is going to all of a sudden have an artificial spike that's going to make it go to like 45, 50. And you're not going to be there yet. And this actually happened to my wife, Kat, as well. She says, yes, when you get to the end, all of a sudden, there's just this spike, and you have to kind of go grind. If you don't, you're not going to be able to fight these enemies. They're too high level. So there may be a stream or two where I have to go to one of the optional dungeons and go through and grind, and also not only do the dungeon for leveling, but to get components to upgrade weapons to like the final level and stuff like that, so that we can hang in the end of the game.
Oh, we're gonna be
now, there's
hanging.
many RPGs that have done this before, so I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to complain about that. But it is kind of annoying that, you know, we have gotten this far, and now it's like we're in the home stretch, and it's like the game's going to kind of delay its ending because of this spike. I get what they're doing there, because many RPGs have done this thing. Like, that's the final challenge of the game. It just sucks because us, timing-wise...
Why is his nose reflecting light today in this weird way? Just focus on the center of his nose. It's just... It's like glowing.
Don't worry, I know people are wondering, oh, what's
Look at
Final
this.
Fantasy VII doing?
There's like a little, like... reflective spot on it. Yeah, it's like
man,
grease.
We can't finish this one as quick as we would have hoped. Because,
It's grease.
difficulty spike. So
Grease is massively strong.
Chapter 12. I'm thinking we may actually finish.
And now I can't unsee it. I just keep looking at it. Because I'm not paying attention to anything he's saying. I've actually turned down my headphones. I assume he's talking about chapter 15 or something.
The way I see it, and I could be wrong, next week we will absolutely
The only grinding cat does is on Tyrone's cork.
Hey, there we go.
both games.
And also in Skyrim, of
First
course.
week of April.
How could we forget about that?
Beat both. And if that's the case, that's great, because then we can focus on other stuff, which is exactly what I'm trying to do. Okay? So let's hope for the best. Fingers crossed that everything goes well today. in the streams that I do, because today it is Baldur's Gate and Like a Dragon Infinite Well, and that later on next week, because we are going to have one detour day on Friday, but that later on we focus on these games again, and after another 4 days of focusing on them,
he's
we're
nearly
at the end
finished BG3 to completion, something he's never done to Cat or Panda.
Hey, there we go. We bust out all the soulmate jokes today. There we go. We taking shots at everybody.
It's funny because Nemesis T-Type just says,
I don't think he.
Maybe,
I'm not gonna get into that kind of discussion. Even though he's boring as shit right now, I'm not gonna get into a discussion about
2 weeks from this coming Saturday,
that kind of stuff.
And basically, you're right. We may be in a situation where I finished the game on my birthday.
Bro, fuck your birthday, legitimately.
It really depends on
fuck your birthday. You're 42 years old. We still talking about my birthday. It's so embarrassing hearing him even say the phrase "my birthday."
Optional endgame
and just smirk.
Lines that I want to do because they're companion quests, right? And then basically heading into the Gortash parts and then the finale.
Because he's like, he's at a point of his life where people kind of avoid celebrating their birthdays, or at least they celebrate it with like select couple of people.
Could it be 2-3 streams? Could it
unless you're like Robert Downey Jr. or somebody like that.
Okay, and I don't want to spoil. What I'm getting at is that I think there's something at the end of the game that no one's told me about, which is good. I don't want to be spoiled, but people have been kind of saying, "Oh yeah, the ending segment will take several hours," and I'm like, I wonder why. There's got to be something that we don't know about, right? Something's going to happen, or something's going to be time consuming, and I hope it's good. But I get that because all these plot lines are culminating. You know, the Emperor wants you to do one thing. We already got rid of Raphael, so he's not a concern anymore, thankfully. But, you know, you got Gale and Mithra, and they each want to do something themselves with this crown that's on the Elder Brain. And you might make a choice just determining that. Do you want to destroy the crown? Do you want to keep the crown, give it to someone? But I definitely get the feeling like there's going to be a lot going on in this ending, that all these factors are going to come into play, and so maybe there's going to be extra fights. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, he's definitely been watching guides, or somebody's been emailing him information just so he can know when the game's going to be over. That's basically it. Because we're at the point of the game where it's conveyor belt more than ever before. So we need to get the game the fuck out of the conveyor belt.
That's where we're at right now. Now you might say, well, what happened to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? Well, as I said, it's on pause. There is absolutely no way we could be playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth right now. I have to finish these existing games first.
It's never coming back.
And once they're done,
it's gonna be like Dying Light 2. You guys remember Dying Light 2?
And it's funny because people were like, you realize that you're about to finish everything at Junon, and well, not finish everything at Junon, but you finish all the side content in Junon, and then once you go into the plot there at Junon, it's like 8 straight hours of crazy fun narrative and interesting stuff. And I'm like, I believe you. Like, I remember in the original Final Fantasy VII in Junon, that's where you go undercover, right? And there's all this fun stuff going on there. And then right after that, there's some crazy plot developments and stuff like that. But how was I going to do that? Exactly. It wouldn't make sense. How was I going to make any progress in any game if I played that mixed with the others? I wouldn't have, right? So it has to be on hold for now.
Should. I know this is not a hot take, but of course, it's always worth saying you should focus on playing games for enjoyment and not like a fucking project, because then everybody can see that you're just playing it superficially and brainlessly and emotionlessly. That was a word. Enjoylessly. And it gets conveyed to the viewers. That's why they don't stick around. They go watch somebody else who actually likes the games they play.
And the character creator.
Again, it's not a shocking thought. It's not an original opinion, but apparently, since he's been doing this shit for 15 years and hasn't realized it,
creator, and those are going to be characters I'm going to
must be something.
Okay, and then that starts on Friday.
That's not the reason why he's not playing FF7 inches.
Yes it is. Yes it is. FF7 inches.
Huh. So I'm excited.
Where did that come from?
Start that playthrough all day long on Friday. But because
yes, it is.
RPG overload,
it's RPG overload.
We're gonna play it all day Friday, and then
we're getting DDoSed by RPG.
3 and Like a Dragon.
And it has nothing to do with the support. I guess actually, if it had to do with the support, he would have cut the Yakuza game, put that shit on the back burner, or at least just put it down, euthanize it.
Much like I'm doing,
and play Final Fantasy instead. At least like more than 2 people are gonna tip him during the stream.
And Like a Dragon. Sunday is React Day.
Oh yeah, and also there's like a beach scene where a bunch of hot chicks with big titties walk around or something like that. So I've heard.
on DSP Throwback. I'm excited for that because it's going to be the big ending. I hope a lot of people will come and join me for the ending of the game. And then we're going to have the poll to determine what's the next game on DSP Throwback. And the options will be more Dark Souls 1. We've only done one stream of that so far.
The way he plays games is just scheduling exactly the fastest route through the game with no personal input.
He is supposed to be the meaningful part of the stream. His existence, his personality, this huge quotation marks, his even bigger quotation marks, his social interactions. So basically everything except the game. But the game is why people give him money, in his opinion. So it's a paradox.
And whatever
everything but the game is what makes the stream meaningful.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
But the game is the thing that gets the money coming in.
And Like a Dragon with the hopes.
And again, the hope and cope economy. This is the economy of hate. Everybody loves it. First, we hope that things are going to get better. If they don't, we cope, and then we beg. And then eventually they get better. Because somebody cracks under the pressure, they start sending money.
Baldur's Gate 3 and Like a Dragon until they're done. Then Dragon's Dogma 2 comes in full time. And then we have a big decision to make. Do I bring back Final Fantasy VII, and do we balance Dragon's Dogma 2 and Final Fantasy VII as the two featured games? Do we want to bring in any more variety?
Is this supposed to be the schedule segment, or that's the stream recap segment?
More RPGs. So what other variety should we do, right? Should we bring in Alone in the Dark, a shorter, more suspenseful horror game? Should we consider Rise of the Ronin, the other game that comes out Friday that I'm skipping for now, but maybe you guys will want to see it? Should I do something completely different, right? There's a lot of options. Should we go back and try to play the Battlefront collection, because apparently they're patching it and making it better now, right?
No, they're not. It's not happening.
So, at the very least, the RPGs that we've been playing forever are going to end within the next 1 to 2 weeks. But basically, it looks like we're going right back into more RPGs, and there's not that much we can do about that, because that's what's out right now. Now, on my birthday, April 6th, we're doing a marathon. During that marathon, which is undetermined everything we'll be doing, but there's going to be food, there's going to be cake, there's going to be booze, and there's going to be a schedule update where for a whole hour or more.
That was the loudest can opening in the history of streaming, dude. What the fuck?
Entirety of the gaming landscape and schedule for the rest of the year, and I'm going to outline the dates of all the new games coming
I am not watching this.
And the ones
I am boycotting
so
this.
That way, we can pick.
It's not happening.
Which ones to play?
Because I did last year, and I stayed until like 4 a.m. and I had an existential crisis.
Populated that way.
Like actually.
For gaps, and say, oh, I see. In June, there's going to be a gap here. In July, there's like nothing, you know, and then we can base other projects and games around.
Really? We're gonna plan months ahead? This is your idea of a good birthday time? Hanging out with your friends?
On the Throwback channel. We can then do that once we get to the gaming schedule update.
And now, of course, I understand why people constantly discuss whether or not he's autistic and whether or not he's gay.
So there you go.
Because like there's
that's
proof
I'm thinking
of both of them, and it's like tons of it.
And hopefully once we're past that, then we can focus on all new games, which I want to focus on new games at this point. I really need these games to be ending, so I'm glad we're in the home stretch. Okay, before we get to the Dragon's Dogma 2 review scores, okay, the one thing I would like to talk about this morning, which is very good news and interesting news, I think you'll like this.
Since it's good news, we're gonna be done with this segment in 45 seconds.
We are nearing the end of Red Dead Redemption on DSP Throwback. In fact, as of this morning,
oh no, that's the good news.
The video released, and this is the one where you finally run into Dutch Vanderlyn, who is your gang leader from the actual plot of Red Dead Redemption 2, and you finally run into him, and now you're starting to chase him. And if I remember, this is moving fully into the end game. Like now you're after him for the next several missions, and then there's a resolution.
The moves on this dude physically make zero sense.
No, stop pointing him out.
He's just have extra snort sacks down there.
I haven't.
No way he was gifted a human body.
I actually don't think he was gifted the body as well. I think he just found it in the bargain bin. Because like this is not a gift. This is not a gift. No. And the boobs, I haven't noticed them today, so I will continue not noticing them. They don't look too bad with this shirt on. It's not the worst shirt ever.
And people have been talking about
when it comes to that.
Should be like different various opinions on this. Okay. Now, originally the idea for DSP Throwback was to get playthroughs on the channel, all right, that are there for posterity purposes, meaning you can't really see them anywhere else on the internet for various
Posterity
reasons. Now, some of the playthroughs
purposes.
we're doing Red Dead 1 and Final Fantasy 13, they both are not anywhere in their entirety on the internet because those channels were shut down. One was on a Final Fantasy channel, one was on a Rockstar channel, and they were both shut down by hackers. They hacked them years ago, and basically I lost control of them, and then they put up illegal footage, and the channels got shut down by YouTube. So those playthroughs were lost to time, but luckily I had the raw files saved. So that's exactly what we were doing, is uploading these for posterity, editing them into 30-minute clips instead of 10-minute clips, fixing the audio, upscaling the visuals, adding...
Okay, since since chat is talking about the boobs, I gotta talk about it too, I guess.
For future
What I see is, I think it's just a wrinkly t-shirt. I don't think this shirt has been ironed at all, so it kind of looks like it's shaping up the breasts, but not really. It's more of just like general wrinkliness.
Related channel and has been gone for many, many years. I did do a second run of LA Noire later on, but the original one has always been lost, okay? But as I have been doing these projects on the Throwback channel, there has been one common opinion, one, not demand, but definitely one desire by my audience. People
So it's a desire when we want to do it, and it's a demand when we don't want to do it.
stating that, hey, it's one of your earliest playthroughs you ever did. It's so old. The visuals are actually done with a camera that's not widescreen. It's not even HD, and it's pointed at an HD TV, so it's 480p video, crooked, skewed to fit a widescreen TV into the 4:3 aspect ratio shot, okay? The audio is atrociously bad, the visuals are bad, but people love this epic playthrough because, again, it's one of my earliest full playthroughs I ever did.
Phil? Imagine being the sperm he came from.
I can't. I don't wanna.
From his parents. We all like to give Dave credit for some things, but he created an antichrist. That whole family belongs in hell.
You know what? Low key, I'm willing to believe that the Dave is not Phil's original dad, and it was a product of Linda getting drunk and fucking around. Basically, I would be willing to explore that possibility.
That was the playthrough where I got drunk
it's
half the
fun.
time and I was lost in the sewers. I was murdering entire towns. It's epic. Like, people remember it from back in the day. As
What game is he even talking about?
Kind of video game playthroughs to be put on YouTube, and people love it for that reason. However, there's a couple problems with this playthrough in the current day. Number one, it definitely doesn't
Slurs?
really hold up, being that it's such a bad quality with the visuals and the audio.
Well, we're gonna expand it
It's hard to watch
artificially.
You know, like back in the day,
AI enhanced, boy.
but now you've been watching HD quality, you know, for how long, and it looks terrible, okay? Number two, in that playthrough, originally, I used a lot of the radio on the Pip-Boy, and the radio...
Oh, it's Fallout something something. All right, whatever.
The problem with that is that that music, since the game has come out, has been completely claimed and or blocked. There's just a ridiculous amount of copyright issues with that soundtrack on YouTube.
Just don't do it then. We talked about this yesterday.
For Fallout 3 on my DSP gaming channel from my second run, when I actually did have some of the music on. Within the first 12 parts, 7 of them had copyright issues.
Then just don't do it.
Okay, that's
There we
more
go.
than half, and that's only in the first few parts. Okay, the original run, I had the music on like all the time, I think. So there's very much potential that that run in many countries cannot be
$2 from
watched.
VLX
It's muted. It might be muted.
11,387.
There's actual
That would
parts
be
that
an
I
epic
think
Mori
are
segment.
Yeah.
Cigarette
Dave,
light skin tone.
Dave Burnell, you are not the father.
Here's the thing: if people really
Imagine that. And people start applauding
for them and saying we would love,
because he gets to save himself. He gets to
made to
live in peace, knowing that he did not create this monster.
You try to watch that original Fallout 3 playthrough, and a lot of the parts have big issues with them. It's doable. The thing
And
is,
like
though,
Dave starts doing backflips and shit.
to take those videos
$2
and imagine
Canadian
instead of
from
being
Infidel
4-3
Castro.
crushed,
Dave wishes he
actually
chose the
change
brown
the
on
aspect
April
ratio
6th,
of the white
1982.
and to have
The brown. Bro, come on. What the fuck?
make it full HD like it was meant to be, to actually make the visuals
God
look
damn
better
it.
and the proper aspect ratio and not skewed to the side. It's doable. It actually is doable. It's just work, but it's doable.
But hold on. This is the birthday,
To scrub.
not the conception date. Wait, we're thinking too much. Stop thinking about it, please.
Run
Which
those
of Review Tech
videos.
have same father? They are both LOL cows born in Bridgeport within 18 months of each other.
Huh.
Think about it.
And they're also Italians, because Richard is also Italian, right? Except he has a real Italian name. And DSP is like a fake Polish guy that pretends to be Italian. It's like the movie Step Brothers, basically. They're kind of Step Brothers.
These levels of editing, all right, to get that to happen. It's just work, all right? And I guess the question is, how much demand is there for someone to see the Fallout 3 playthrough?
Bro, zero demand. I'm skipping this shit. I have no demand for watching this segment.
Improvements to each video.
$2 from Jodab. Dave wanted to be team no load that day.
Like, he wanted...
Yeah, right?
He should have ran a poll in chat about where he's gonna bust. Okay, now guys, should I
do it?
Never mind.
The original Fallout
I'm not drunk enough for this.
is about 22 hours long. Okay? Now, that does not include me going back to do optional side content, which I did. That was another 19 hours.
Bro, shut the fuck up about these games. It's so annoying.
So, it could work. But the question is that what people want? Because in my mind, there's only two options as the next project on DSP Throwback. It's either Fallout 3 or LA Noire. Because LA Noire you can't watch anywhere right now. Fallout 3 you can, it's just really bad quality.
It's gonna be LA Noire.
Either one I feel for posterity purposes is a great idea, but I guess it's just a matter of you know, what do you want first demand-wise?
$5 from Rocco Sandwiches. I would love to see an arch where Cart leaves Phil, starts streaming on her own and becomes more meaningful than Phil, and Phil starts raging tears of joy.
Look, man, if she was looking anywhere near like what she was looking in like 2018, that's possible. But nowadays, she doesn't seem like she got enough confidence to go out the house, let alone leave and then become a live streamer. So that's a multiverse idea. There's a universe out there where this happens, but well, in every universe, DSP's the beggar.
Fantasy
but still,
finishes, which is around 2/3 of the way through now, probably another month to finish it. Then we could do the other one too.
Even though I gotta give her that, even though she was absolutely terrible at video games when she was a streamer, she seemed like she has more interest in streaming and more passion than this guy. This guy only has passion for getting money and spending it.
$5 from JWoSound 989. Phil Real Dads was a Make-A-Wish guy LARPing as a mailman.
Well, a Make-A-Wish guy LARPing as a mailman. Well, he couldn't deliver. That's all I can say. He couldn't deliver. He fucked up the package, and now we gotta deal with it.
Because of the music.
Now it's all our responsibility to deal with the package.
React to Fallout 3. I could, but we have to do the scrub first.
It was like that Amazon driver that almost stole his neck phones.
Live on the channel, and then I can go and watch them back because those will be available to watch and not have issues. One of the big problems that happens with YouTube is if you're reacting to something, and YouTube detects that as copywritten content, they actually block your stream. And we know this.
Not always.
Last year that I've been doing the DSP.
Why does it happen to you but not to me, Bill?
Versus the internet show on DSP React.
Maybe because just slapping a huge ass logo of your channel in the middle of the screen is not transformative enough. You might have to actually pause it every once in a while and say something.
It sucks. It's not like, oh, your stream's been claimed. It's, oh, your stream's getting shut down now. It's like, what? And then you have to wait like 3-4 minutes for YouTube to detect that you've moved on and you're not watching that content.
This happened to me multiple times, and I've seen it happen to other people restreaming him, where his stream gets taken down, and I'm live watching him get taken down. Nothing happens to me.
So imagine me trying to do a react to Fallout 3, and immediately it detects music, and now the whole stream's done. Or I can't do anything. I can't continue.
Okay, just don't do it at all then. Tell people to go fuck himself. Or do a new playthrough of the game.
That's what I mean. If you guys ever want me...
with the old commentary.
Fallout 3, we have to...
It's a Redux playthrough. It's remastered.
Okay, so guys, I believe at this point I said the N-word, so I gotta do it again, okay?
Okay.
Just for the sake of posterity, for posterity purposes.
So, I'd like your feedback on this.
Krona from Alien. Now guys, Tyrone wants lobster for dinner, folded hands like...
Now guys. Yeah, this is, by the way, this has happened in the past. Well, not with Tyrone, but when he talked about, like, well, I gotta take Cat out to dinner, so it's been slow today, you guys. So it would be nice if you step up.
Good. We're going to be talking more and more about this soon because, again, like I said, another couple of weeks probably, Red Dead 1 will be finishing, and we'll need to come to a determination of which playthrough you guys want to see first. Likely, we'll put it to a poll. Like, for example, this Sunday night when we finish Heavy Rain, I'm going to make a poll on the channel for the next playthrough.
I'm gonna make a skip on the channel for this playthrough. And I'll just skip to live. And empty chair emote. There we go. Chat is spamming it because they love it so much. Because that's the new meme now. The new meme is that the guy whose podcast we're watching doesn't exist.
Giving off Hulk Hogan energy while
Yeah, brother.
Phil wears a button up but wears pajamas. He isn't doing a Zoom call that would indicate he actually has a job or in school. Please talk about my wife, Detroit Delight.
Wait, no, let's actually see if where's he going?
You could bear with me for 1 second.
Why?
I'll be catch on stuff. I just want to go take care of it. I don't have a nail clipper in here.
What?
I
Wait, what? He's gonna get up to fix his nail?
I basically have a catch in my fingernail. It's really bothering me, and if I don't get rid of it now, it's probably gonna catch on stuff. I just want to go take care of it. I don't have a nail clipper in here.
Bro!
I paused the recording. I'm just gonna run to the bathroom, do that, come right back, and we're gonna resume. Okay, give me like a minute, and I'll literally be right back, and we'll continue the podcast.
Bro, actually?
Okay.
This is actually what is happening. No, we got sweatpants today. It's actually what is happening. This dude gotta clip his nail. So we're just gonna let everybody... how many people? There's like 340 people watching him right now. Do a podcast. But since he realized he can pause the recording and then resume it, now we get infinite possibilities to fuck around and waste time. Because you know, in the VOD, you're not even gonna notice him being gone. So epic. Think of all the opportunities we have now to waste everybody's time. He can feel like he want to go scratch his ass, maybe.
Going to get caught on the X button, dude.
Oh yeah, that's definitely what's gonna happen. It's gonna ruin his playthrough. He's gonna press the wrong button once. And he's still gone. All you gotta do is just like clip one nail, bro. And now he's back. There we go. There we have him. Finally.
Chair emo. That's why we made it, right? It's a good one. All right. Ready?
Yeah, why is it a good one? It's bringing more attention to what kind of irresponsible streamer you are, because you're intentionally wasting people's time and then bragging about it by making emotes of it. That's not how memes work, man. And you should know, you're a living meme.
Like that, I'm back. This new pause feature on OBS that we've discovered. Thank you, OP Boone, who in the suggestion box told me about this pause feature. I'm using this like literally every day now. It's
yeah, because you get to fuck around.
So for you guys who watch on demand, I'm sure you're enjoying this feature because you don't have to see an empty chair. And for those on stream, they see the empty chair, and we made an empty chair emote for them to use, and they do it. They use it in the chat.
This is like legitimately like talking to them like they're children, actually children.
All right.
You guys get to use you guys get to play with the nice little empty chair emote. I'll be right back, okay?
So anyway, let's continue on with the show. What I'd like to talk about now is the reviews have come out.
Yeah, that's the news. They are high. Apparently the game is good.
For Dragon's Dogma 2.
But I'm gonna give this to Phil so he can tell you this same thing I just told you for like 10 minutes.
All right. I'm just going to read some of them. You ready for this? They just came out this morning. The Sixth Axis, 10 out of 10. RPG Site, 10 out of 10. Gaming Bowl, 10 out of 10. Eurogamer, 5 out of 5. VG247, 5 out of 5. PSU, 9.5.
Okay, bro, do we need to actually like read through every single one like they just got gifted memberships?
Former, 9. God is a Geek, 9.
Just say that they're very high.
9.
That's all you gotta do.
8. So, those are just some of the... I mean, there's tons of review scores that have come out. Aggregate, basically, it's getting in the 90s on PC and high 80s on console. And you might say, wait, what's the difference? Graphics. Basically, on PC, this thing can run like uncapped frame rate, depending on your rig. On console, listen to this. This is very bizarre, because I never would have expected this one. Okay? Dragon's Dogma 2 runs better on the Xbox Series X than it does on the PS5. On
By
PS5,
what?
it essentially runs around 30 frames per second. On the Xbox Series X, Dragon's Dogma 2 runs at 40 frames per second, but it fluctuates. So it actually runs better on Xbox, which is almost never the case, correct?
Yeah, it's
always in favor
low-key
of
negligible, to be
console
honest.
gen when it has a cross-gen or a cross-platform game
But like,
this.
bro, this console costs like $500, and you're gonna tell me a game that literally comes out right now runs at 30 FPS?
Is it possible to pause a recording? I just figured he was too lazy to even use it.
No, he legitimately just did not know. He didn't know. And it's easy to know because you got a pause icon.
So weird, right? Very weird. So I'd like to just read you guys a couple quick review summaries.
Why do we have to do this?
RPG site. More than just a retread of the 2012 original, Dragon's Dogma 2 fulfills and expands upon the promise of its predecessor, culminating in what can only be described as a generational RPG. Whoa, that sounds like high praise. From Colt Eastwood, Dragon's Dogma 2 on Xbox Series X runs an average of 6 frames higher than PS5, stays closer to 40 frames in combat. PS5, it's closer to 30 and sometimes goes under. I recommend getting it on PC if possible. Okay? This one's from Okami13. Dragon's Dogma 2 is my new game of the year. But it's March. I hate the people who do this. It's my game of the year. It's fucking March. Right? Capcom delivered an absolute masterpiece.
Yeah, but bro, what if there was like a yearly gaming schedule and you know what else is gonna come out?
What do we need games journalists for, and why do their reviews matter so much? But he always reads them for every single new game.
Yeah, this guy, by the way, that is very much worth pointing out. He despises game journalists. He basically thinks they should be locked up in camps.
Performance issues at times can hurt and otherwise unforgivable.
They're like the worst, unless he agrees with them, and then he values their opinions very much. And he avoids games just because game journalists say that they're bad.
Experience. There you go. And then I actually found this tweet entertaining from Theo Crusader. He says, Dragon's Dogma 2 fanboys are posting the review scores and ignoring the fact that they're going to be playing it like a slideshow. So essentially, what they're saying is it's really, really, really good. It's long, it has a lot of content. They've improved upon almost everything in the original game, although they make it feel like a new experience. It doesn't feel like you're just playing Dragon's Dogma 1 all over again. They did add new things and improve upon a lot of things, but the bummer is the graphics just aren't as good as they could be. Like, people really feel like it should be at a better frame rate. And I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, it should be 60 frames.
It kind of should be.
Understand why. Why can't these game developers make their games 1080p 60 frames? And here
$2 from Kopsai Default. Colt Easywood is a ex-bot and a joke on YouTube, rolling on the floor laughing.
This is the first time I hear him. The only guy it really annoys me is Dreamcast guy. That guy is a fucking turd sucker.
here's the thing.
Really obnoxious asshole.
Okay. The answer is this. Because
the rest of them I don't know.
Too far, too fast, and we rushed into 4K. That's the answer. Because all these games basically have
What does that mean, dude?
They have to have 4K resolution modes. And since they have to do that, they have to add enough detail and enough to make it 4K. So when they do that, now they're like, well, how do we make it 60 frames? Well, no one's expecting 60 frames at 4K, right? But now, because you put so much detail and shit into the game, now it's like an afterthought to try to get it to run better on the lower resolutions. Imagine if this generation, the only goal was 1080p 60 frames. You understand that if that was the actual focus this console generation, every game would be.
How are you gonna make the whole industry agree to some kind of a fake ass standard that you have? How is this gonna work? How are you gonna enforce this? This is nice to like have it as a thought while you're taking a shit or something, but once you start thinking about it, it makes no sense. How are you gonna do it?
Literally every game would run 1080p 60 frames. The problem is we push technology where every TV is 4K, everyone wants 4K.
It's not every TV is 4K. Yeah, have you seen how much they cost? Not everybody want to buy a 4K TV so they can watch 720p television on it.
There's some difference.
Because then you got to buy the streaming service that plays your content in 4K, because not all of them do. It's not that easy, Phil. Not everybody got people just giving them money into their little hands so they can buy shit whenever they feel like it.
Notably in movies. Movies probably...
Look at this spoiled ass cunt.
In video games, when there's a lot of motion and everything, it's not that big of a difference. It's not. Okay? And people who freak out about this, I demand 4K and everything. Basically, you've made these game devs rush forward at a point where they weren't really ready for that, in my opinion. From what I'm seeing, from the climate of the industry, from what how is it we have these incredibly powerful boxes And we
$2
can't
from
just
Kopsaidifal. Phil wants pretty graphics and 60 FPS on a console unamused.
Well, preferably I do as well. And I mean, I got a 4K screen. I'm satisfied with how games look and run on it on the console, so I don't have complaints. So I'm not really up in arms about it.
boot a game at 60 frames yet. It doesn't even make fucking sense, right?
I'm pretty satisfied.
Why? Because they put too much detail in them. Why? Because they needed that detail for 4K. It's stupid. It's stupid, especially when... have you even heard a single game dev say that they've really benefited from 4K? Have you heard one say that?
Have you listened?
Like, when people were saying, oh, we went from, you know, standard definition to HD, or when we went from 720p to 1080p, people definitely saw the difference, correct? Like, you could see a big generational jump in the quality of games when that happened. Have you seen a generational jump since all games now can render in 4K? Have you seen any big differences? It's stupid. I mean, what's happened is, instead of them focusing better on lighting, on better aliasing, and what do they call it, ray tracing, and the frame rate, they've now got to fuck around with adding enough details to make it be 4K first, and then try to make everything else work after the fact. It's really dumb. So this is the problem. They focus fidelity over frame rate. And when they do that, the entire industry suffers. You know? 100%. Okay? 100%. I can tell you.
100% he's banning somebody right now.
We didn't have 4K resolution right now as a requirement.
MX $50 from Yonahue.
4K is not a requirement.
More detail and enough to get to 4L, lol.
Yes.
We do need an interview about games with DSP so someone can milk all this nonsense.
But it's like, they're just gonna agree with him. If it's a gaming interview, they're just gonna agree with him like the quartering did. That's all. If it's talking about video games, because like, it's not worth it to press him on these issues, because you're just talking about video games.
Dragon's Dogma 2 would probably be 60 frames per second on every format. But we skipped it. If you remember, like last gen, a lot of games started at 720p and then they jumped to 1080p. Some were variable resolution. And then all of a sudden this gen, every game's 4K. That was the problem. The jump was too much. So this pisses me off, because I would love to have Dragon's Dogma 2 as a beautiful 60 frame RPG, and now we got to have this fluctuating hybrid game. For who? Who is the sales audience out there that if you announce that Dragon's Dogma 2 only rendered at 1080p, that they would say, we're panning the game, we're never playing it? What would it be, like 1,000 people? Whoop-de-fucking-do. Why are we catering to these people who are so demanding and picky, instead of just making something that everyone would benefit from, right from the ground level, you know? So,
what are you talking about, bro?
Because now people are going to say, oh, don't get Dragon's Dogma 2 because it runs under 60 frames on console.
Who said this?
Stupid mentality. If it really is as good as these reviewers
Bro,
are saying,
he's just getting pissed off at random people on Twitter that got like 50 likes and 55 replies. God damn it. Just stop giving a fuck about them. I thought you were based. I thought you made up your own mind and had your own opinions and said stuff that goes against the grain. Why are you getting fucking bothered by random people on Twitter?
and you're going to skip out on a game that's a potential Game of the Year contender simply because it doesn't run at a smooth 60 frames, that's pretty stupid. But a lot of people are like that. Like, a lot of people are so demanding that today they will not buy a game if it doesn't run at the best performance. You know what I'm saying? Dark Gaming says Baldur's Gate 3 is 30 frames. No. It runs at 60 frames for me, but it's hybrid. Like, a lot of the times it's 60, and then it chugs in parts, right? Especially in combat, or if you're in parts of the Baldur's Gate itself, and there's a lot going on around you, then it dips. So it's a variable frame rate, but it aims for 60, and it hits it a lot of the time. What they're saying, Dragon's Dogma 2 never hits 60 on console. Like I said, on Xbox Series X, it hits around 40-ish, which is good, but you want more, right? So I'm happy to hear this news. I'm excited.
$5 from Kopsaidifal. Phil should just get a PC at this time. All he does is complain about these consoles and wanting 60 FPS for every single game and insane graphics.
Yeah, but for him to get insane graphics and 60 FPS, he needs to get a PC that costs as much as his Champions Edition. So that's not possible. That's not happening unless somebody else buys it. And, well, there's no volunteers for this.
And I really feel
So I
like
guess
now
we're just gonna be keep rocking the console.
I made the right choice, because if you remember, this week was a big choice. Am I doing Rise of the Ronin or Dragon's Dogma 2?
Oh my god, get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. I'm tired of fucking talking about which game you want to play today. God damn, is it every day? Every day, the same 2 games. We just talk, oh, am I gonna play this one, you guys, or I'm gonna play this one, you guys?
Basically, some people loved it. They said, oh, it's a great open world. It's basically a combination of Assassin's Creed and Sekiro with some Dark Souls elements, although it's not as hard because the game has a difficulty adjuster, so you can make it easier. It doesn't have to be ridiculously over-the-top difficult, okay? Some people loved it. Others basically said, it's okay, but basically once you get 3-4 hours into the game, the entire game feels kind of samey, and therefore it gets boring. I shouldn't be bored 3-4 hours into an open world game, and that's why it's not that good. So honestly, I think I made the right decision here. I hope the Dragon's Dogma 2 ends up being great. Remember, we're playing it all day Friday. And then after that, we have to wait. I have to finish Baldur's Gate, and we have to finish Like a Dragon, and then we're going heavily into Dragon's Dogma 2 as my major playthrough for a bit. I hope you guys understand why I have to do this. I cannot be playing 3-4 RPGs at once. We have to finish.
Bro, you should play with 3 or 4 rounds of a loaded gun.
Fingers crossed for great progress today on our streams. And I'm excited to jump into Dragon's Dogma 2 with all.
Oh, we got the rash status. Let's give a vibe check to the rash. As you guys know, under the right ear, we got a very positive rash, and it's been looking as healthy as usual today.
Character creation off stream, like you always do your character creation on stream. But you said you're gonna tomorrow on your day off, you're gonna make your character, and Cat's gonna make a pawn for you. Like, why are you doing it that way? This is why, because we have only one day to focus on Dragon's Dogma 2.
Could you imagine working next to him at a factory?
I can imagine doing many things to him in a factory if I worked with him. Many of them involve heavy machinery and a lot of blood.
And then back to these games to finish them. So in that consideration, I don't want to waste an hour making characters when we only have 5 hours to play.
He's going in the meat grinder, you guys. We're making sausage.
That's why. I hope you understand.
We're making Italian sauce.
And I am excited. So please be here Friday.
Oh no, it was a work-related incident. Ah, that sucks. Anyways,
Baldur's Gate, excuse me. Oh no, I said the premiere of Baldur's Gate. The premiere of Dragon's Dogma 2 this Friday. I'm excited for it. I loved the original. Now, by the way, someone earlier today said they couldn't find the Dragon's Dogma playthroughs. Now, hold on. What I like to do live, because I'm here with you, is I'd like to take a quick look. So if I go to videos.
What are we going to look at the views?
Filter. Dragon's Dogma. Okay.
Dogma balls.
Wow, my review of it was June 2012. My original playthrough was 113 parts.
This is I'm pretty dude. I was gonna say I'm having a day off tomorrow, but I'm not. We're doing TBS tomorrow, and I'm gonna be producing, so I gotta be there. So yes, we're fucking rocking it. I'm taking a day off on Friday though. I just can't, man. This shit is killing me. It's miserable. It's so miserable. It's so miserable. Because it's like nothing happening. If he was toxic, at least I can laugh at him. But now we're just talking about the same shit we've been talking about for the entirety of this streaming week. Talking about too many games coming up. Talking about Dragon's Dogma. Oh, dude, am I going to play Dragon's Dogma? Am I going to play the Rise of the Ronin?
Released the DLC. Okay? It's a whole giant optional dungeon. It's huge. And I remember playing it right before I went on like a trip. Okay? But maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe that's the end of the original playthrough and I never played the DLC. I can't remember. I really, really can't remember. And that's unfortunate. I wish I could remember exactly. I don't see the Dark Arisen DLC, so maybe I never played it. Maybe what I'm misremembering, okay, is the actual end of the game is a giant dungeon grind, right? So I don't think I ever played it. Now, all these years I thought I actually had, And I guess I didn't. Because here's what I remember. I remember when I played Dragon's Dogma 1, okay? I liked it, but it was a game that if I didn't grind, it was going to be a big ordeal to do the playthrough. So while I was playing it, I would grind offline at night. I would actually like get drunk playing this game and grinding and leveling all my teammates up while I was doing something else. So I'd have like a show on another screen while I was grinding in this game. And I did it for a lot of the playthrough. And I remember at one point, and I had always thought that it was the DLC, but I guess I'm wrong, is that I knew that like there was a piece of content in it. Is that what it is? Cypress TV says you didn't play it. The original playthrough dragged on. I watched it earlier this year. I think what happened was I was under the impression that where I was in Dragon's Dogma 1 was the end of the game. And I had set aside like 1 to 2 nights to finish the game because I wanted to have the playthrough uploaded ahead of time because I was going to a convention. I was going to like an event. And I wanted to have that to be a big project for people to watch while I was at the event, making more videos from the event.
Okay, this is getting sped up.
So I really worked hard. Like I filmed a ridiculous amount of gameplay of the game in like 2 days. Hoping to finish it, and I still didn't finish it. If I remember, like the end of the game was an insane, lengthy grind, and I was very pissed off at the end of the game. Now the thing is,
look at how much he's touching himself, and then of course he wiped it off in his shirt.
Was the DLC, but I don't think it was. I don't think I ever played the Dark Prison DLC. I think I just did the base
Absolutely grotesque human specimen. Absolutely grotesque.
That playthrough, when I started, it was doing well, but over time, people got tired of it. They basically said it was too long and too grindy, and even though I was grinding off camera to level it in advance,
look at this. We're picking the face. We're picking the goatee. I might as well just mute this and we just look at his body language. It's this is an actual tweaker. This is just a tweaker.
I think that's what happened. I think that's exactly what happened. So I rushed to finish Dragon's Dogma 1. I didn't like
There's more emotionally stable crystal meth addicts than this guy.
the ending, right? Oh, is that what it is? Eternally Promises when you beat the story of Dragon's Dogma. There's a huge dungeon grind that opens up as part of the base game, and it takes 10 hours. I think that's exactly what it is. I think that's exactly what it was, is I beat the story, but then there's this dungeon, and everyone's like, do the dungeon. So I went to do it thinking, oh, it's a few hours. It was like 10 hours. That's exactly what it is. Now we piece together the story.
Oh, what was that ear dig? I want to get this one because that was like...
It really is like...
fat and juicy. Look at this.
Oh, what about this? What about that?
Wow, just blatantly. Imagine you did this shit on like a business meeting or something. Except on a business meeting, you would probably have just a couple more people with you. He got 360 people watching him right now. And he's digging in his ear and then wiping it off on his shirt.
You know, trying to remember this stuff.
Yeah, get an instant replay of this. You're gonna love it. Look at this. It's coming. It's coming. Look at this. Oh, yeah. Oh, it feels good. And then we just wipe it off in the most blatant way possible.
But for some people, it's really important, old shit, you know, and then they try to...
And then we got a bald spot flash. I need to see that. Because this always lights up my day. And it lights it up because it reflects so much light, it blinds me.
They try to ask me shit all the time. Oh, what about this? What about that? I don't remember. You know, for me, that's stuff that's so old. You know, I don't care about it. But for some people, it's really important.
Look at this. God damn. God damn. Epic Italian moment. This is those Italian genes coming through.
Old shit, you know, and then they try to remember, and I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, so that's... tried to rush it and finish, and so eventually I did finish it at later.
He eventually finished the game.
Again. What would happen back?
That's all you need to know.
Slave.
He was a whoa.
Views on YouTube, and that sucks. Let me tell you something.
Oh, he was a slave to views. Thank God he's not a slave to anything nowadays, except to the couple of people that keep giving him money. Now it's even worse, because back then at least he used to generate revenue by putting out videos, and now we just need to directly ask for the revenue from people. Can't even generate it anymore.
That really sucked for me, because there were games that I liked, but then people wouldn't catch on and it wouldn't get views, and people would demand other games instead, and I would have to spend more time on the other games.
All right, boys, prepare the slave trade. We're getting some views out for profit.
The only income I had back then was based on ad revenue, and the ads were based on viewership. You know, I had a contract with Machinima, my partner network, where I would get paid a flat rate per amount of views. So I had to bring in views. I had to play what people would watch. Today, it doesn't really matter that much.
Okay, well, it's almost like it was your job. When you go to work, you need to do specific things to get paid a specific amount. Yeah, that's just how it works. I know you just want to do whatever you like and make money off of it, but you're not talented enough. You're not skilled enough, you're not knowledgeable enough, and you're definitely not intelligent enough. So you got to deal with what you got.
Most of my
Which is basically just beg for money so other people can give it to you.
focus is on streaming and having you guys be engaging and supportive of the streams. And yes, I do get back-end income from memberships, from super chats, super stickers, super thanks, and from ad revenue. But for the most part, it's not a humongous deal if viewership goes down for a month or two because I'm not playing.
I don't know why he called it a back-end
now,
income. What the fuck does that even mean?
Big way too, like by like a fifth or something.
It's not like passive income. It's income he needs to beg for on stream, and it happens when he's on stream. I don't even understand all these words. We're just making up some new like begonomics terms. This is a whole new. It's just a whole new science, begonomics.
Because I'm just playing the same RPGs over and over, no new games or whatever. And so it's funny because when I play a new game like Battlefront, it did get more views than everything else that I was doing. But look how long that lasted because the game's a broken mess, right? So it's not much that I can really do in that regard. But it doesn't destroy my business if viewership.
Oh yeah, Cat knows all about people coming in from the back end.
As long as people are still coming by and engaging.
Is that's what you mean by back end income, right?
Supporting the streams, I'm okay. Back then it was different. Back then that was all I did was on-demand videos. So if the views went down, I actually got hurt by that, and I had to try to adjust and listen to what people wanted. And a lot of the times, I ended up stopping projects and things that I was enjoying to play more of what people were asking for. I mean, particularly 2012. If you remember, do you guys remember 2012? That was the summer of GTA.
Because the world ended then.
Playing a wild marathon of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas back to back to back, and it took me a while. It took me like 2-3 months to get through them, like back to back like that.
Bro, why are we even talking about
really
this?
Drove me nuts because I didn't want to play that many GTA games back to back, but the views were insane on that playthrough, and people kind of demanded that I do it. So I really didn't have time to do anything else, and that was my whole summer, you know.
Yeah, we ended up not saying anything worth anything.
Wrapped up in so.
I'm just gonna skip rapidly at this point. I'm crazy
skipping. What I would say at this time is,
I'm a skipaholic.
Opportunity for us to do shout outs. Let's do shout outs.
But what? There's no shout outs?
I have 0 contributions so far today.
You didn't fucking earn anything. You just showed up talking about the same shit you talked about yesterday. You might have as well just replayed the podcast from yesterday.
0.
What do you think you did to fucking provide value that deserves somebody giving you something to shout out?
So I have nothing to shout out at all. All right. So what do you want to talk about? Let's just have a little bit of Q&A today. And go back and forth a little bit. And if we end the podcast earlier today, that's okay. I'm okay.
Well, 1 minute man's gonna show up at some point.
But let's see what happens. All right. So what would you guys like to talk about? Tag me in the chat. We'll do a little bit back and forth. Eternal Napalm says, if you switch to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I will tip you $150. All right. So when I start playing the game again, probably in a couple weeks' time, I'm expecting that tip. Thanks for offering.
No, that's not what he said. That's not what he said. That means if you switch to Final Fantasy Rebirth, also known as you drop what you're doing and then you switch. You greasy fucking turd.
Really appreciate that. We will switch in a couple weeks, and you know, because you didn't say today, so
oh, but of course he got you by way of semantics. You didn't specify today, even though it was very much carried in the context of what the guy said. He didn't say, "Oh yeah, Phil, if you someday switch."
Very nice, thank you, Eternal Napalm.
Yeah.
Look at this. Now you owe me money, you fucking idiot.
No, but you know, I'm not going to switch to Final Fantasy VII now. The reason is I can't give the game enough time.
The reason is we don't have time because we're too busy talking about the same shit on the podcast.
Battlefront back into the mix. Like maybe we check out Battle.
No, we're not back into the mix. We gotta bring Kurt Angle into the mix. Then you got a 33% to have a slow stream.
Moog Palace and do that. Or I also want to.
No. Anything that has to do with him talking about a video game is getting skipped today. I'm super low tolerance mode right now.
The other thing is, right now I'm taking a hiatus from fighting games on purpose. Fighting games. Right now, so. Oh my God, excuse me. Whew. Go Team Venture, thank you very much for the membership. I appreciate that. Eternal asks, how's my back doing these days? It's pretty good. I haven't really had any issues with my back recently. Every once in a while, I'll get something with, it's more my neck now. Like now that I'm getting older.
$1.99 from Gengar Green. Rip to Sam for getting snapped away by Thanos.
Yeah, rip Sam. I'm sure if he wanted to tell people something, he would, but I guess he's not.
My lower back doesn't give me many issues. My neck does. So I keep getting shooting.
So they can stop asking us instead, and we gotta think about what to tell them.
Weeks ago, I was actually getting this numbness going down my left shoulder blade, and that's all my neck's fucked up. And there's nothing I can do about that. It's just, I can tell you, my spine, my neck is all fucked up. It's just genetics, I guess. I didn't do anything to cause it. It's just happening as I get older.
Oh,
So
my neck,
I
my
have to
back, my
figure it
crack.
out, but for
Oh,
now,
no.
What are you gonna do?
It's just his genetics.
But the good news is it's not anything.
Like, bro, are you born in Chernobyl or something? What the fuck are those genetics? Every body part he's got something fucked up with it. The skin, the bones, the skeleton, the face, the head, the nose, the eyebrows, everything fucked up. Everything.
Horrendous. It's
Everything.
not anything debilitating. It's just kind of annoying that sometimes I have pain or numbness.
Oh, by the way, multiple times he's described his back injury as debilitating. Just go look it up in Go. Look up debilitating, and you will see he has it. Even last year, he had a problem with his back that he described as debilitating.
And I just got to deal with it for a few days till it kind of fixes itself. Or
It fixes
readjusts or whatever,
itself.
right?
His body regenerates like he's the Wolverine.
I received a $5 tip. This is our first tip of the day.
Oh, awesome.
From Oscar. Thank you, Oscar. He actually is going to talk about Alone in the Dark, which is excellent because I'd like to learn about this game. So let's get Oscar on the leaderboard and let's see what he has to say.
Let's not.
The gunplay and exploring is fun. I have no doubt you would enjoy this if you start playing it. All right. Maybe that's what we should do. Maybe. All right.
$2 from JVoSound 989. Can we watch Kurt Angle DSP for Skip Juice?
Yeah, why not? Fuck it. Let's do that. It's better than whatever the fuck this podcast like. So DSP Kurt Angle. We're about to get hurt and mangled like Kurt Angle. Except I can't find it. DSP versus Kurt Angle, is that it? Oh yeah, this is it. Okay.
Hey Phil Burnell, it's your Olympic hero Kurt Angle. And detractors have your number, buddy. I've seen the bank leaks. Jasper showed me your phone. We all know the WWE Champion's addiction is getting worse. Oh, it's true. It's damn true. And Cat deserves more than Burger King. And by the way, I'm watching you.
Have sex with your wife.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And I'm not just talking any kind of sex with your wife.
No.
I'm talking, you know,
That
bestiality
sex.
with your wife.
This is the most convincing promo of all time. Oh, no. Not that normal type. That kind of bestiality sex with your wife.
Fuck this shit. Oh, no, you didn't, you motherfucking piece of shit cocksucker. Mark my fucking words. I'm coming for you. I'm gonna find out who the fuck you are. You motherfucker.
And that's basically it. And then they play in a video game. But I wanted to play the Kevin Nash one as well, because this one is very funny.
All right, Darkside Phil. It's Kevin Nash. I mean, I've fucking read.
$2 from Lord Kane 666. He's capping about being healthy. All that DoorDash.
Bro, he's not healthy at all. I mean, come on. Not mentally, not physically, not emotionally, not in any kind of way. He is just simply not healthy.
Some disturbing
That's not even discussion.
things in my life, but Jesus Christ. I mean, you spent $40,000 on the WWE Championship mobile game. You went into bankruptcy for half a mil. You play video games all day long while your wife works her ass off. You masturbated on YouTube, live stream. They wanted to prosecute you, but they said your penis was so small they couldn't actually make it out. So they couldn't tell whether you were masturbating or playing with a fucking skin tag. So, dude, I mean, I get it, man. It's pandemic, it's fucking lockdown, it's everything else, but Jesus, you gotta pull your shit together. I mean, when I got your dossier from the fucking almighty fucking egg gang, I said to myself, this is a sick puppy. This is somebody who needs some fucking serious fucking help. So, I hope you get it, man. You're not gonna, play video games all day, jerking off. And I'm sure it might seem like a great fucking a career move for you, but your lady's gonna leave you. All right.
Epic. And now we got one from Jim Cornette. Apparently this one is 3 minutes long. God damn it, Corny. You went hard, man. What the fuck? And we even got the video of it.
Phil Burnell. Oh, Phil.
Oh my God, I didn't even know this exists. Oh, this is gonna be a banger.
We got to talk. I'm Jim Cornette, by the way. You probably know that. Everybody else does, because I'm a worldwide celebrity, a pro wrestling legend, and a podcasting genius. But I am now coming to you on your telephone through the miracle of modern technology known as a cameo video message, courtesy, well, I can't call him your friend because you have none, but courtesy of one of your acquaintances named David. Now, I know, Phil, that you have multiple names in order to stay ahead of the authorities. You're also known as AKA Dark Side Phil, and sometimes, depending on what part of town you're in, you have other names. I know that some of the ladies of the evening say, hey, sport, but nevertheless, you, from what David has been telling me, old Dark Side Phil, you got a lot of problems. You run some kind of confidence game, some kind of scheme, some kind of racket, some kind of pyramid scheme with these mobile games and this streaming and everything. You beg for money every day. You're constantly saying you're broke, but yet you spent $80,000 on a WWE mobile game. From what I'm told now, these are the things that people are saying about you, Phil. You once broadcast yourself online jacking it? Where were you, in San Diego? I'm gonna go out jacking it in San Diego. Jacking it, jack. Smacking it. Why are you spanking the monkey online, for heaven's sake? You know, children, dogs, cats, other people could see that and be horribly scarred for life, especially if they had binoculars so they could see your teeny tiny little penis. But anyway, I mentioned you don't have any friends, but you do often, from what I'm told, insult your fans. I think that was a misprint. I think it should have been you insult your fan, because there can only be one of them, because, look at you, Phil. And apparently, you make a lot of money streaming video games, demanding people give you money for the same thing, but yet I'm not sure how that's a service that's in any way valuable to the American public. So basically, I think you're cheating people out of money, and you're being an asshole while you do it, and you're also exposing your member all across the world via the internet. So I'm not going to say you shouldn't jack it, Phil, because after all, that's your only recourse, since no other human beings, male, female, animal, vegetable, or mineral, will touch you in your nether regions. But don't broadcast it, because then all you're doing is showing people your shortcomings. Anyway, David says, get your shit together, Dark Side Phil, and I say, well, I really don't care what you do, because I'll never see you again, and I really don't give a shit. But otherwise than that, I hope you have a great day. Thank you, fuck you, and bye-bye.
That was a really good one, man. I'm glad I went on the field trip.
$2 from Rocco Sandwiches. Jim Cornette DSP cameo next.
Hey, there we go. We got it.
We finished with Baldur's
We got
Gate
it.
3.
And he's still not finished with being finished with Baldur's Gate 3. So let's skip everything. Is he playing video games now? Let's check him out. No, he's looking at chat, so we're doing Q&A. But the tips goal looks different.
All kinds of, exciting storylines, like Asterion drinking the blood.
No, I'm gonna drink my own blood in a second.
No, you mean Persuasion.
No, I don't. Also, 1 Minute Man send him a 10 now. Then he's gonna send him another 10 and then a 5. Because now we're just nickel and diming Phil.
I should check out. And I kind of walked by it to get to the boss fight, which is funny.
No.
So that never happened. Like, I never met her at all, right? I literally never spoke with her once. So because of that, I didn't know she existed until we were in the House of Hope.
Nope.
Shit.
Skip.
That during my run of Baldur's Gate 3, people...
No, skip, dude.
I didn't see her there. I didn't see her at the Mason building.
No, I'm gonna skip this.
It's a big discount right now. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to be playing it at any point.
I don't think I'm going to be listening to this.
I can't play like 140-hour games all the time. I will never finish them, and it's going to screw up my schedule and my business. That's literally what's happened. Baldur's Gate 3 has been a wild ride, but it has literally disrupted DSP gaming, and I need to move on to other stuff, which is why I'm doing this big push to finish it. I can't play these games constantly. They will actually crush my business.
They're going to crush my business. He's going to get death by RPG.
Faster paced, more
He died in a role-playing game related incident.
variety. I can't be investing this much time into one game. The interest falls off, you know?
Yeah, this game is skip.
I would tell you if I was going to quit. But being unsubscribed from the channel happens all the time. This has been a running thing for like 7-8 years, and YouTube ignores the problem and says it doesn't exist. But it totally does. You just got to, you know, check back every once in a while. Listen, I'm one of the most, or if not the most, consistent.
$2 from Redbird UJ76. I like milking my engagement $2 at a time. To her.
Well, that's fine with me, dude. Whatever way you want it.
Right? You know that I'm going to be uploading video game content almost every day. There's one exception, and that's
at least you don't pay the PayPal transactions like 1 Minute Man does.
Content tons. You know, every day
he is the most consistent guy. That's actually a bad thing, by the way. I've mentioned this before. Because to create demand for your content, you got to reduce supply. Because he's there 6 days a week. People just, quote unquote, take him for granted at this point. You know that whatever point you want to tune into DSP, he's just going to be there. And he's going to be the same guy as always. So you're just going to be watching his shit. You got no incentive to support him. Because you know he's just going to be existing regardless. Because he got nothing better to do.
Streaming, right? If I'm not, I tell you why. So if all of a sudden you notice, where's Phil's content? It's not in my feed. It's because YouTube unsubscribed you.
Uh-huh.
Come on back. Big Daddy Dubs did a super chat. He says, Divinity Original Sin 2 is as good as Baldur's Gate 3. Here's the thing. I played it. And I would say combat-wise, it's almost identical, right? Like, I think it was almost the same game in that regard, combat. But, number one, the graphics weren't nearly as good. Everything was done from a faraway perspective. There were very few close-ups in the game, correct? So it didn't look very cinematic. Number two, incredibly drawn out. You know, I played it for, what, 60-plus hours? So if you look in perspective to Baldur's Gate 3, I basically played almost half of it, but...
No.
Also from 1 Minute Man. Hold on.
Of course. What do we got? Another 10? Yep.
And Temple.
No, we're not even.
Spell.
No. This is like he's gonna end up turning people off of his podcast as well because he's just non-stop talking about Baldur's Gate 3. So if you're not into Baldur's Gate 3, you legitimately don't have to watch a single one of his streams this entire week because it's all just consumed by this game.
Okay, which I believe you.
It's terrible. At least he can shut up about it during the podcast. Just keep talking about it while you're playing the game.
Number one, where are they all? Because I don't know where they all are. Tatar attack.
Because it makes people feel left out. And they don't understand what's going on, so they don't have enough interest to keep up with it.
Anymore. It's a huge improvement.
Yeah, massive improvement.
That. Okay. So thank you, 1 Minute Man, for the tip. Thank you guys for your few super chats here. What else would you guys like to talk about?
Open up the Q&A.
Orange says, Louis Rossman, an independent Apple repairman and YouTuber. He made an app that's called Gray J. It allows you to subscribe to people across multiple platforms. Feed works better than YouTube even. So you're saying there's a third-party app that you can subscribe to people, and basically it'll give you a feed of all their content. Like, let's say...
Oh my god.
My tweets.
If you subscribe to DSP, you're gonna get like 4, 5, 6 videos a day. You're gonna get 1 community post, or at least maybe 2, and you're gonna get a bunch of tweets. And it just consumes your entire feed.
And my videos on...
Yes, he wants you... He basically, low-key wants you to be obsessed with him.
Diarrhea day, dog.
When is diarrhea day? It's whenever it feels right. Whenever you wake up in the morning and it just hits you, man.
All three of
You don't get to pick diarrhea day. That's what's so good about it.
my channels, they could do that and it would give you all at once. That's pretty good.
Yeah, no.
That is pretty good.
Yeah, like I'm saying, he basically wants you to be obsessed with him. As long as you like him, you can be obsessed with him. You have to watch all his videos so you know everything he's talking about. You have to watch his podcast. You have to follow him on all the places. You gotta send him emails with feedback. But if you don't like him, then you should not watch anything related to him or engage with him in any way. He gets to decide that. He gets to pick that.
Right there, if you're interested. He says, do you have plans for when Baldur's Gate 3 ends? Sadly, anything you play gets support. I'm kind of worried about the future of the channel. What? You literally just said anything I play gets support. Huh?
Yeah, that's not what he
First
meant,
of all,
obviously.
I'm making a tremendous amount of content, right? The podcast gets good support every day. The games are hit or miss depending on what game I'm playing.
Bro, you make like up to $30 on the podcast. How the fuck is that good support? Come on. Give me a break.
You know what day it is? Definitely Baldur's Gate 3 gets consistent support.
Dog, you literally said a couple of days ago that you're bleeding and you're hurting right now because of all this stuff's been happening. Views are low, engagement is low, support is low, Argentinian memberships are high. So yeah, now we're contradicting that because somebody said something that he disagrees with and he wants to be a contrarian. So now the channel is doing great and he's not concerned about the future. After telling us how concerned about the future he is because he's been playing too many RPGs.
But the throwback streams have been getting great support, right? And I do those once a week every Sunday night. I think what it is, people want more variety. But for example, when I played the Battlefront Classic Collection, despite the fact the collection's atrociously bad, that stream got great support. And the videos actually got good views on YouTube. Not that it mattered because they're demonetized because the Star Wars music got claimed. But if you're trying to say no one's supporting...
Oh, and now he's talking about Jay. Well, fuck this. What am I going to do? Skip like 10 minutes ahead? Nah, we're just going to get to it eventually.
Anything but Baldur's Gate 3, that's completely false.
Yeah, whatever.
David said, looking back, would it have made sense for you to go back and play more games that you missed in the Yakuza series before Infinite Wealth?
No. No, I'm not even going to entertain
Am I a
this.
dog or cat person? Well,
He's a cat person because he got a cat. There you go. But he probably likes dogs too. Because he can't pick absolutes. Even though he sees life in black and white. Unless he doesn't.
what I would hope is
Unless he
once I
does.
start playing newer games, like Dragon's Dogma 2, which everyone's asking for, all right, and other variety, like I think like Alone in the Dark, or some action-based games, like I said, like maybe bringing back some Street Fighter, whether it's new or old, maybe some Battlefront, maybe bringing back...
Okay, bro. What is gonna happen then?
Back on the streams will be good. The problem is there's no variety.
Oh, so now the streams are not good. Confirmed. If you need to do something for the streams to be good, then that means they're not good right now.
People want a change, and I hear
And people
that.
want to
Not
change. Elect him for president, everybody. He's gonna change everybody's lives. We're getting in World War III day one. It's gonna be the big, massive marathon.
Do I have any childhood or baby pictures to show on stream?
No, all his parents have all of them, and they won't give it to him because he doesn't want them.
I don't
Because he has no sentimental value to anything because he can't feel feelings.
have any of them. My parents do. They have all the photo albums and stuff, and I'm sure I'm going to inherit those one day. Maybe we'll look at them together.
Oh no, that's gonna be so cringe. Who are you gonna pass them on to? The same way your parents gave them to you. Who are you gonna give them to? Derek?
But
I'm sure he's gonna love them more than anybody else.
I don't have them actively here. I received another $10 tip, also from 1 Minute Man. Wow, thank you, 1 Minute Man.
Whoa, he's going crazy today. 3 whole tips.
I appreciate that. He says, my take on the JKB story, if you don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, we're talking about
Guy,
this.
the former editor of Review Tech USA, who I guess is going...
Oh, yeah. Now, the guy who doesn't engage in drama, he's going to recap you on all the drama, by the way.
Get gotten into a spat with him and supposedly wanted to have me on just like a quick...
These dudes are such like fucking little schoolgirls, man. I cannot stand all 3 of them. All 3 of them are complete pieces of trash. All three of them, Jay included, because that guy is a fucking bitch too.
Show for like a chill stream or something, and then I guess he's bipolar or something because he says something.
He might be bisexual since he wants both of your pennies.
Talks we had. If you want that skinny on that, I made a video about it yesterday. You can check it out. It's right here on the channel, featured video too. He says, if a random person tells you that Joe Biden wants to come to your stream, would you believe them? If someone wants to come on your stream, they should contact you, not some random person. Even if they did, you would have to quadruple check if the request is real. This was a real life perception check and you shouldn't fail it. But the truth is, he wanted that. Like, I guess what had happened was Jay has this split with Rich and he's doing his own streams now, and people are actually paying attention to the guy now because they're like, haha, you know, it's drama, right? I guess he had said on his streams, yeah, I would like to just have like a chill stream or conversation with Darkside Phil, because that's someone that Rich craps on all the time. So it would be surreal to actually have a conversation with the guy.
It would be surreal?
Rich never has, you know. And so this guy, Ones to Sense, who was on my streams over the weekend.
Oh yeah, this cock.
This opportunity says, I'm actually someone who I work with Jay all the time, and he's expressed interest in talking with you. Would you consider it? I said, I'm open to just a conversation about anything, gaming or whatever, something positive. That's cool, you know. And that's how it was presented. This wasn't an interview. This wasn't an interrogation. It has nothing to do with me. It's just talking about games and life and stuff like that. It was supposed to be casual and fun. And I'm like, that sounds like a plan. So I DM'd him and we had a conversation back and forth that was literally to that effect. Don't talk about drama. Don't talk about Rich at all. Let's just have a conversation as two gamers and two YouTubers and have a good time. And we were actually talking specifics of how to set that up. He had wanted to do a talk beforehand, like on the phone or something, to lay out the specifics of how we were going to make it happen, because I don't know how we would even do that. Like, how, if we were to do it, would we co-stream it, where we both stream our perspectives? Or
what perspectives, bro? What perspectives? You're both going to be in a Zoom call. What kind of perspective is there?
But
I know what he means, but it's like a really dumbass idea.
We do and record and we each upload, which we could have done that too. Like, I have no idea. And I think that's what we were.
Bro, both of you have completely fucking dead ass channels. You got 209,000 subscribers. You barely get 300 views. That guy got like 60K and he gets less views than DSP detractors. Oh, but now he will get views because Rich made him a victim. He's going to get a lot of views for about a week and then we're going to go back to normal.
To talk about,
because the dude is boring as sin.
And the next thing I know, Jay is tweeting, oh well, the whole DSP thing, I only entertained it because he reached out to me and he's never gonna have a serious interview.
Yeah, this is, by the way, where Jay becomes full on spineless, because then in that tweet he talks about like wanting to do some kind of a serious interview where DSP would be asked the hard-hitting questions. It's like, bro, you never said you were going to do that. You just wanted to have a man-to-man talk about gaming with the king of gaming himself.
And talk about the...
So yeah, all three of those dude are complete fucking bitches. Complete bitches. All three of them.
Important topics. He's just like everyone says.
So... And Jay is like, Jay keeps talking a bunch of trash and then pussies out when it comes time to like actually back it up or something. Because they invited him on to the fucking LolCow podcast. It's not that that's a very prestigious establishment, but he got to get the opportunity to defend himself against Rich, and he fucking bitched out because he's just a bitch.
I'm like, wait, what? Like, literally nothing you're tweeting about is anything we ever discussed. You said you wanted to have a casual conversation with me. That wasn't drama. That was positive. You didn't say anything about an interview. You didn't say anything about questions or nothing. It was supposed to be us just hanging out, which I'm totally open to.
Bro, Phil, let me tell you something, brother. Nobody wants to simply hang out with you. They want you for the value that you bring as a joke, as a living meme, as a lolcow. They don't want to hang out with you. You got nothing to offer. Your opinions are not your own opinions. You just stole them from somebody else on the internet. You got nothing interesting to say. You've never had any interesting to say outside of begging and telling people about your life struggles.
Can tweet all that on Twitter. Like, it has nothing to do with the conversation we're literally having in DMs right now. So the moment that I see that, that's it for me, you know?
$2 from AS. Shake those tatas, Phil.
Oh yeah, I'm not paying attention to that. I'm not looking at it at all.
The guy feels like he's two different personalities. And on the one hand, he says one thing, and then on the other hand, he's acting like a completely different thing happened that didn't. You know? So... I don't understand it. It completely blows my mind. I'm like, well, whatever. And here's the thing. I'm done with it then, right? If that's the case, I already know I can't trust this person. So what's
bro, the dude has been editing videos about you being a retard for the last 6 years. You could never trust this guy. This is Review Tech USA's editor. He's made like at least 5 videos about DSP being a fucking idiot.
You want to know my honest take on it is this.
What is it?
This is a guy who worked for Rich for a while, right?
Yeah, no shit.
He literally has his hands and his mind in this kind of drama sphere. Not detractor, but like TMZ style content. This is what he did for a long time because he was.
This is what you're doing right now, by the way.
He's ingrained in it, right? He's probably all about it, and he probably wants to continue it. So, that's why he has that.
The whole thing, like, there's something really interesting about Jay is he keeps going on and on about some fat Dracula, that he was the inventor of fat Dracula, and I really hope that's sarcastic. Because, you know, in writing, especially on Twitter, it's really hard to tell what's sarcasm or not because it's in writing. But the whole thing about Fat Dracula is Rich and Jay watching a video of DSP eating a burger. And Jay says, hey, he looks like Fat Dracula. And then Rich laughs once. And then Jay keeps repeating the joke for the next, like, 5 minutes. Until it's just no longer funny after the second time. And if he's really proud of that, then I got a very clear picture of him.
Mindset. He probably already has this weird misconception about me because of all the stuff that Rich has said and done about me. So he's already got this mindset and he's not willing to have an open mind and just have a conversation with me, apparently. Like, here's the fun part about all of this, right? People think that, like, I'm not a normal person.
You're not
capable of, like, a conversation.
You're not.
Why?
Because you're not. You're an online leper, DSP. Nobody is willing to touch you with a 10-foot pole. You're going to give them leprosy. You're going to make them associate with you. And when somebody thinks of them, they're going to think of you. That's like an STD on the internet.
Have it publicly on a stream doesn't mean I'm not capable of having a conversation.
You're not. We've seen you try.
I was so blown away that he reached out and talked to me. Why? Like, what? That was another funny thing too, like with the whole Mike Klum documentary. The way that I got introduced to Mike Klum is the weirdest story. It wasn't, he didn't reach out to me, someone else did. All right, I'm not gonna tell the whole story because I don't know if it's even something that should be public. But basically, another YouTuber reached out to me and said, "Hey, would you be willing to work with Mike Klum on a documentary?" And I was
so it was probably Boogie. Thinking about all the logical options, probably Boogie. Because, you know, at some point before the interview, Boogie and DSP were talking about doing a collab and having Boogie on DSP's show and doing the whole, like, DSP asks it. So that sounds like the most logical thing ever because Boogie also worked on a documentary about himself with Mike Klum.
like, why are you reaching out to me? Right? Oh,
because you're a leper, Phil. You're a leper.
Sure that you get that you paid attention to this or whatever. You're a hard guy to reach. I was like, I'm not a hard guy to reach at all. You can email me. You can DM me. You know, all
really?
this stuff is available.
Why did Keemstar have to give you an official business call then, Phil?
The problem.
I'm not a hard guy to reach unless the wrong person is trying to reach me, and I intentionally make it hard for them to reach me. I thought we don't discuss business opportunities in DMs, Phil. What happened with that?
People have this weirdo misconceptions about me that just aren't true. Just because I don't actively do talking with people on my streams doesn't mean that I don't talk to people. Right? Like, what are you talking about? It's just wild what people say and the shit they make up. So it's like some big deal. Someone comes on my stream and says, hey, this guy Jay might want to have a chill conversation with you. I'm actually down for that because that's the kind of guy I am. I'll talk about games. We'll talk about news. We'll talk about whatever, right? I'm okay with that. In fact, the least drama, the better. Like I said, I don't even want to talk about Review Tech USA because that's just drama to me. The guy's always treated me badly, and I have no desire.
Always treated you badly. Did he treat him badly when he used to send him a bunch of super chats? When he offered to gift him a PC, that was bad treatment? He wanted to give him a PC because he hated him? Really, Phil? Really? You don't remember that happening?
you want to talk about the state of game,
because Rich has always been on DSP's dick. He always, because Rich is a huge he's a huge lol cow. He's a huge Cloud whore. He loves Cloud. He's super proud of being on the Lol Cow podcast, a place where degenerates and pathetic, worthless internet personalities gather to talk about how pathetic and worthless they are. That's like the whole concept of the show. And Rich is proud to be in that. So you get a very good perspective of who he is as a personality and a person. And he's been all over DSP's flaccid cock in the last couple of years, wanting to get him on his stream, wanting to get an interview with him, wanting to send him a PC, going on multiple different accounts to send him money so DSP can give him attention. Yeah, Rich is pathetic. He's desperate for this kind of attention because by himself, he can't get that kind of attention. Because go check out his comments right now. It's just a bunch of people shitting on him for how pathetic he is and how boring he is and how he's driving his own channel into the ground.
gaming. You want to talk about life in general, what it's like to be a YouTuber, all this kind of stuff.
Yes. The guy who doesn't do anything in life want to talk about life in general. That's going to be a riveting conversation right here.
Be down for that conversation. But guess what? No one wants to have that conversation with me. All they want to do is create drama to get.
That's all you're good for. That's all you're worth, Phil. This is your value in life, is giving other people something to laugh about and gossip about. This is all you can bring to the universe. And if you exhaust that ability, you can just vanish and nothing's gonna matter.
Rich is a 100% a lol cow.
I would even say it's like a diet lol cow, because he doesn't bring in the lols. He's not funny. He's just pathetic. He's just like, I wouldn't even say laughably bad. He's just a very boring guy with not a lot of personality and not a lot to bring to the table when it comes to entertainment value. That's why we gotta rely on all this other fucking bullshit drama he tries to stir up all the time. He tried to make drama with the review tech, with the side scrollers, with the Melanie Mac, all that bullshit. He tries to inject himself in shit all the time.
Make money on my name. So that's it. I mean, Jay probably thought, oh, you know, on the guise of a casual conversation, but then try to lure it into drama. I don't want drama. There's no point in talking about your drama that you fabricated to begin with, or you're following fabricated drama from other people. I have no reason to discuss any of this. You know, what are you talking about? So, right? It's weird to me. Here's the truth. I wish people on the fucking internet were normal. A lot of them are not. A lot of them, everything, at least look at my experiences in the last year. Everyone is out to make a buck off of my name. However they can do that, and usually that's drag Phil through dirt, right? So,
but the thing is, dude, the thing is, you're already in the dirt. So all they gotta do is just like film you while you're in the dirt and laugh at you, and then it just works. That's the content. Because you're already dragging yourself in the dirt. You just don't know it.
Let's have Phil as a guest on our show. Oh, wait a minute. We realized this guy's going to be a cash cow because a lot of people don't like him on the internet. So let's say we're going to do an interview.
That never happened.
Right? But then,
that is not... This is a fake-ass narrative that doesn't exist. If you go and recap the whole side-scrollers storyline, you would see that none of this happened.
Turn that interview...
They were almost criminally fair with him. Almost criminally fair.
Into a 3-ring circus that will milk for content for 2 months and then also continue to do defamatory...
And the only reason the interview itself was 5 hours long is because they were super fair with him.
$5 from JBusound 989. Every time Rich uses the applause button, a village starts burning. So sad, so pathetic, and so unfunny, meh.
It's like, that's the thing with that joke, right? Because you're supposed to play the applause when something worth noting happens, right? Something worth having applause happens. And it never happens. He just says something random and then plays the applause. And it's just like, it doesn't make sense.
Streams about him so that we can make tons of money on him.
Uh-huh.
Right? Oh, by the way, also drop the original offer to have him as a guest on our show anyway. Like, what the fuck? All I wanted to do was be a guest on the show because they offered it. And it would have given me some exposure to a new audience. Instead, I've become a villain again on the internet for a bunch of bullshit that I'm
You were
not
always
involved.
the villain on the internet.
Oh.
Back in the day, it was your choice and your decision to be the villain. And nowadays, it's not, but you're still the villain.
Oh, let's have Phil as a chill guest, and we'll have a fun conversation with him about life and gaming. Oh, well, you see, Phil didn't want to do a serious interview about the serious topics that he's accused of. So he's never going to want to do that. So, you know, he's just like everyone says. What are you talking about? What the fuck is wrong with you? No, really. What the fuck is wrong with you? You got problems up here. You do. You're out of your fucking mind. Not everything in life is meant to be something to personally gain from, right?
Whoa, crazy that Dark Side Phil is saying this. Actually crazy that he's saying this. This is the wildest shit he said.
You're out of your
This is like 4-dimensional projection. We're projecting in like 17 different IMAX screens at the same time.
Insane to say stuff like, to act like that. You're fucked up, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense at all, right?
This guy's entire existence is based around extracting something from everybody else in his life. Everybody else that exists, that he has any kind of contact with, he uses to extract something out of it. Whether that's money or somebody does something to him, somebody drives him around, somebody give him compliments, whatever it is. That's why they exist, to fulfill that purpose, to benefit him in some kind of way.
This is just hilarious to me because people, by the way, message me and talk to me all the time, email me all the time. How is there a conception on the internet that I'm hard to reach? What, because fucking Keemstar said it? He's a fucking liar. He's a liar. He made it up on purpose to create more drama and content for him.
But Phil, you got to talk to him and you didn't say this when you talked to him. But why are you big baller Burnell right now when you were a basic bitch Burnell when you talked to him?
You know, stop believing idiots. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Okay. Anyway, enough of that nonsense.
Somebody's getting banned.
I blocked Jay. I'm not talking to him ever again. There's no point. That's it. Like, I got my one. I gave him the one chance. I tried to be nice and immediately get stabbed in the back and treated like dirt. Well, fuck you. I'm done with you. I'll never deal with you ever again. Move on with my life. I got shit going on for myself. I don't have to worry about you, right? Highest Darkness says, I think this mentality is common. People don't have common fundamental values like they used to. People just don't have a moral compass anymore, right? Like, it used to be, if you did something that hurt someone, even if you benefited from it, somehow you feel bad about it. Now it's like people just don't care anymore. I will say and do whatever I want. I will destroy people around me. I will step on them to get ahead. And no one seems to feel anything bad about that.
What happened to I care about you guys, Keemstar?
It didn't happen. It never happened.
Whatsoever. And it drives me bonkers because there's an entire genre of content on YouTube made like this. And I don't know how it's allowed to exist. If you want valid advertisers to come to your site, if you want people to actually buy your products, right? Sponsors, why would you promote that kind of content? All that kind of content does is create toxicity and it harms people. So why would you advertise and pay for it? If anything, that content should be completely demonetized on YouTube. Therefore, these idiots won't do it anymore because the only reason they do it is because they get popular doing it and then they make tons of money. So fucking stop supporting the toxicity and it'll go away, right? But instead, it seems like YouTube promotes it. YouTube pushes it with its algorithms forward and all you can find is the toxic content. You can't even find...
Yeah.
Like, why did they do that? They're idiotic. Did they not realize that their site would be much better with positive content pushed to the forefront and allowing that to get the advertisement and that to get the promotions and stuff? Like, it doesn't make sense at all. The way that they've done it. It's they keep shooting themselves in the foot with this shit, you know? And why? Then you get everyone copycatting. You know, it started with guys like Keemstar, and then you get the copycats like Rich, and then you get the copycats of the copycats. And it's just going to continue forever, and YouTube will continue to get worse. You know? A lot of people say, you know, that I'm outdated, I'm a dinosaur, because I stick to an old era of YouTube content creation style. You're right. You're absolutely right. I don't want to ever be pulled into a vortex like this, a drama vortex of, oh, you see, well, this is good that Phil brought me up today because now I can milk that for a video view. I can make a video about it and get clickbait and stuff. It's like, I didn't want to make that video yesterday about Jay. I don't care about the guy, but everyone kept coming on my streams and asking me. And I said, well, I'll just do it now. That way my statement's out and I don't have to bring it up anymore, right? Stupid. I don't want to waste time on that shit. And that's why I'm happy that I did it that way, because then people won't come on my gameplay streams and ask me about it because it's already taken care of, right? It's just awful. I hate it. I fucking hate all of that shit, you know? Of all the things you can accuse me of over the years, right? You can say my bad behavior back in the day with my commentary, which was way, you know, irresponsible and offensive. And then you can say, you know, at one point, Phil thought his shit didn't stink. He was
yeah,
really
he still doesn't.
And egotistical and all of that.
You still are.
Play happened when he had falling out with various people during those years and all that. He was a real piece of shit.
But hold on, dude, like that spans many years. This is how you don't play happened in like 2012. He had a falling out with his buddies in like 2014, 15.
Right? I will agree.
Like, bro, this is like a lot of your career. It's not even just a pattern. It's just who you are at this point.
All of that negative criticism I will take and say, you're
and he's
right.
going to take all of that.
That's why I've really worked hard in the last many years to change myself as a person, right? I've tried to become a better person. I understand now that I'm a fallible human who makes lots of mistakes. I try to take feedback. I try to improve. And I hope that you've seen that improvement that I've worked for over the last several years. But the one thing that I can always say, all right, is that in all the years that I've been a content creator, I never had to step on other people to get where I was. I never actively
Pro Jared
hurt anyone.
Burnell, bro, legitimately. You use the guy's life being ruined to make a debunk stream about yourself and make yourself look good. You went into business for yourself because somebody else's life was being ruined. What are you actually fucking talking about? He made like a 4-hour stream jerking himself off.
To do what I do and make a living, or to get any kind of popularity, right? I mean, even as much as you'll watch back and you watch, you know, that video of John Rambo and Howard kind of crapping on me.
$2 from VLX 11,387. Certified holier than thou moment folded hands.
Oh, it's like absolutely ace certified.
John says that I was fair with pay because I didn't want to step on someone or crap on someone or ruin someone's reputation or whatever. I wanted everyone to come up with me. You understand? So I never really wanted to feel like, oh, Phil just used us as a ride or whatever. No one's going to say that. But I didn't. In fact, I did no collaborations. I did no screw jobs. You know, none of that exists ever. Right? At all. And that's a good thing. Right? That I can go back and look at my history and say, even though I've made all these mistakes and all these things I've done wrong, did I really hurt anyone in the process? Right? Did I have any awful things that I did to people around me that really makes me be categorized in line with a lot of these other people?
But why do you get to decide how you're going to be categorized by other people? That's not fair because nobody has an objective look at themselves. Nobody can be objective about themselves because they're themselves. You like yourself. Probably.
Right? I would hope that when all things are said and done at the end of the day, people will look and say, wow, he made an insane amount of content that made people laugh. Didn't make people point fingers and yell and get angry and toxic with people. He didn't defame people all day. He just made people laugh. And that's a good thing because that content will still be there for years to come to be watched. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that's the good thing. I never really hurt anyone doing it. It's positive, funny content as opposed to I literally sat here every day hurting people to make a living. I don't ever have to do that. I have no desire to do that, you know? And that's why, you know, in this case with Jay, you know I'm telling the truth because what I have to lie for. I don't benefit by making someone else look bad. That's not my content. That's not what I want my content to be, right? So you know I'm telling the truth about the situation because I have nothing to gain from it by lying at all. Anyway, all right. I guess that's it for today. We're out of time. So let's end the stream and get into Baldur's Gate 3, shall we? All right. So thank you all. By the way, happy spring. It is officially spring now for a day here in Washington State. And now we have cooler weather again, which is hilarious. We had summer weather over the weekend, and now that it's spring, the weather's cooler. Figure that one out. But it is cooler today. I'm enjoying this right now. And I thank you all for chilling with me here today for the Level 1 podcast. And I hope that you will stick around for Baldur's Gate. But if not, as always, I wish you a safe and happy Thursday. I will not be here. I will come back on Friday to probably have a lot to talk about. I feel like there'll be like gaming news and all stuff to talk about. And of course, the big premiere Dave Dragon's done.
Well, there's no tomorrow. He's going to be gone tomorrow. It's his day off.
Dogma 2. Thank you all. See you Friday. Peace out. Okay. All right, so really quickly, like I said, we're gonna.
What is he gonna do? He's gonna go take a pee-pee?
Music of Baldur's Gate again.
Yeah, I feel like it. That was a really weird end to the podcast where he's just jerking himself over being better than all these other people. Oh my god, that was miserable. So yeah, I'm just gonna go now. I'm just gonna go now. That fucking podcast, man. It was like 45, maybe 50, maybe 60 minutes of trash and like 15 minutes in the end that was just like typical DSP stuff, where he basically described why people don't want to touch him with a 10-foot pole, because he, at the first opportunity he gets to jerk himself off over being an amazing person and how great he was and how he never hurt anybody even though he was a big piece of shit. Well, you know, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. So thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna see you next time. I'll see you tomorrow on TBS for the podcast. And yeah, that's it. I don't know about Friday. I don't know about anything else. So sure thing, dude. See you around, and Yong out.